What's good, everybody? It is Thursday, October 7th. This is the Early Edge, your daily sports betting show of record. We are powered by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting. And sometimes losses hurt worse than others, and last night was an absolute gut punch. Light day on the show yesterday, but we had the Cardinals, and they walked off. So not only did they lose, they lost on the run line, and all of it was a disaster late last night. So it is what it is. But let's bring in the stars of the show because we don't wallow. No. That's because Week 5 of the NFL season starts tonight. Matty Severance, good morning, sir.
Yeah, I got just 3 words, man. F Chris Taylor, because I was on the Cardinals run line. And, why couldn't the Dodgers do to Taylor what the Mets did in Game 5 of the NLCS when they mobbed Robin Ventura on the base pass? He had hit a walk-off grand slam, but they didn't allow him to touch home plate, so it became a walk-off RBI single. So that would have been nice, but unfortunately, I guess players have learned their lesson.
That's one of the greatest covers of all time because I also bet that game. It was a long time ago, but that's one of the greatest covers of all time on an over and an under in a baseball game ever. M Squared, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. How's everybody doing today? I am fired up because we have afternoon baseball again in the playoffs. Double whammy. Love it. Having a great morning. Let's go.
You get that big old smile on his face. You know it has something to do with afternoon something. All right. 2 playoff games today, which I'm fired up for. AB on the 1s and the 2s. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody. Look, I love that we have multiple college games tonight. We've got NFL. We're getting close to Maction on Tuesday nights. We're in the thick of football season. I love it.
And I just put in some plays for the Shriners. The PGA Tour also starts today, too. We got a lot of stuff going. Maestro, good morning.
Good morning. I'm sensing several SportsLine showdowns between this show and the evening show tonight, so let's go.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of the evening show, I'm glad you teased that ahead. As always, on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be right here live. Follow our YouTube page. Turn on the notifications so you know the second new content falls into your feed. Speaking of new content, I also did an MMA episode yesterday. It is in your feed right now. UFC back at it this Saturday, and Andrew Gumbus is all over 6 different plays on that show, so check it out. All right, let's get into storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And Maddie, you're on the single team that still has a 0 on the right side of their record. What do you got today?
Yeah, it's very rare to have resolution on the last unbeaten team prop, already just in 4 weeks in. The Lions we expected as the last winless team. They were second favorites, but Arizona was a plus 4,000 longer shot to be the last unbeaten. It is the earliest we were down to 1 unbeaten since 2014. And just to note that the last unbeaten team hasn't won the Super Bowl since the 2006 Colts, started 14-0. Another note on Arizona, on Sunday versus the Niners, the Cards can become the 6th team to score at least 30 points in each of their first 5 games, and 4 of the previous 5 did advance to the Super Bowl.
If I smell a team total bet coming up in that Cardinals game coming up on Sunday. I really, really do. By the way, the bosses called me while you were talking, Matty Severance, and I apologize. The UFC episode, MMA episode, not up till this afternoon. Again, that's why you turn on your notifications. So if I make a mistake, you still aren't affected. All right, let's move on. AB, I know you're all over Derrick Henry this week. What do you got?
Yeah, Coach, we've got the annual Titans-Jaguars matchup, which is always an NFL favorite. I know people love that one. They look forward to it, mark it on the calendar. But one thing that I want people to know, if you haven't paid attention to this, Derrick Henry, a Jacksonville native, no team in the NFL has suffered the brunt of Derrick Henry like the Jaguars. In his short career alone, he's already rushed for over 1,000 yards against them by himself with multiple touchdowns. And his last game against them, he went for, only 255 yards, right? So I just want you to know that Derrick Henry props this week against that team. Yeah, just keep an eye out for that.
Oh, did you say the magic word prop? Let's not forget Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, in your feed, our NFL prop special. We had somebody last Monday night live on the show, didn't we, Mikey? He said, you guys should do this show on Friday. It literally stopped us in our tracks. I was like, we literally do a show every Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern time. Crazy. All right, Maestro, I know that not a lot of people are focused on the Lions this week. However, in your storyline, they are involved. What do you got?
Yeah, this line opened a little over a touchdown. It was coming towards Detroit, and I thought it was going to get down to 7, and it just stopped at 7.5, and now it's all the way up to Minnesota -9, which seems like a high line given they only scored 7 points last week, but that was against the Browns, and now the Lions are just decimated by injuries. That's what I wanted to talk about. Hawkinson didn't practice. Penei Sewell didn't practice. They lost their top pass rusher. They're without their center. They're without their left tackle, Taylor Decker, so they are just decimated. Sewell, though, the first-round pick, he has not been good. So I'm not sure how much of a downgrade it is. He gave up 2 sacks and 7 pressures last week to the Bears. But still, big concern just with the depth on that O-line, and the Vikings obviously in big-time bounce-back mode.
Great nuggets, educate, entertain. It's all about who's playing, but sometimes it's also about who is not playing. All right, let's get into our board for the day. And as we just mentioned, so many different sports are going on tonight. And a really good football team, if you haven't seen them play yet this year in college, Coastal Carolina. They have really developed this program into a really strong program, just right below that top tier. So 7:30 Eastern tonight, we're going to go with Coastal Carolina. Now, we're laying 19.5 points. However, hear me out. Arkansas State, they've lost 4 in a row by an average of 21.8 points per game. Coastal Carolina, the last 2 weeks, 53 points, 50 points. They are rolling offensively, and they will roll tonight by more than 20 points. All right, now, sometimes when you have a gut punch like we had last night with the Cardinals in the run line, you need somebody like flip the switch, change the energy. Oh, and I feel like it's going to happen right here and right now. So M squared, you know the drill, son. Give it to me.
All right, Coach, I'm going to hit you with what might feel like another gut punch to you because I'm going to play an under here on the show tonight, and that's going to be
No, I'm kidding.
under 54.5 in this this Thursday night football game here between Seattle and Los Angeles for a couple of reasons. This number is just a little too high for my simulations. Look at the SportsLine computer. We have it at 50 on the site as well. My number is 51.5. But like the under here, so the offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, was a former McVay staffer. We know what McVay likes to do defensively. They're going to have the 2 high safeties. They're basically going to beg you to run the football to try and have some success. Now, they're going to especially do that tonight with Chris Carson banged up, potentially out. They're going to beg this Seattle offense to run the football to the point where they're going to have to try and open things up. I think that's going to help the under here quite a bit. Now, looking at Seattle, they have only run 52 plays per game, which is dead last in the NFL by a pretty considerable margin. This Rams team is 26th in the NFL in terms of number of plays run. They're both going to be content to slow it down. Yes, they will take deep shots. Yes, they have big play ability, but this clock is going to be rolling in this game. So I like the under 54.5. I saw some questions in the chat. Yes, I would tease this one up to 60, 60.5, or depending on what you can get at your book, but I do like that move. And then my second play, Robert Woods, over 21.5 receiving yards. If you followed anything in the media here, he's obviously complaining a lot. McVay has addressed it publicly. I think the reason he's addressed it publicly is because this is an absolutely elite matchup for him. We know that this is a spot where they're going to be able to throw. The Seahawks defense can't really cover anyone. They're the opposite here. They run the single high safety, so there's going to be opportunities for deeper shots down the field. And then they had some real issues against the left cornerback, which is typically where Robert Woods is going to be lining up. I think this is a great spot for them to get him as targets. I like the over 21.5 yards for his longest reception.
Real quick question. When you're teasing that under up to 60, do you have anything that you would tease it with, or just advise people that one side take whatever they are and then tease that up to 60? Which would you do?
Personally, I would tease it with the Rams, and I would get the Rams at plus 3.5.
Okay.
That's the way I would go on it. Yeah.
Okay, very good. We love those same game teasers. All right, moving on. Matty Severance, I know you got a little potpourri for us today. The floor is yours.
Yeah, 3 plays from tonight's action, although frankly, I'll be watching none of the games but Squid Game instead. That show has a hold of me like the Bachelorette does on you, man. That show is an addiction.
Oh, I do love it.
We'll start with baseball. I'm a White Sox fan, but I don't think today's game lines up well for them in Houston. I like the Astros 135, 130, whatever it is now. Jose Abreu might not play. He's sick. He didn't even travel with the team originally. I guess it's not COVID, but he couldn't travel, until late, I wonder if he's even 100% if he can play. That'd be a huge loss, obviously. Lance Lynn has just one win in his final 10 regular season starts. Wasn't really the same guy in the second half. And Houston, he always pitches terrible in Houston for some reason. He was bombed there earlier this year. And then Astros pitcher Lance McCullers is, one of the best young right-handers in the American League, and he dominated Chicago in 2 starts this year. So I definitely like the Astros on the money line, that one, unfortunately. College, I like Houston -6 over Tulane. I think it might be up to 6.5, and it might get to 7. And I think it's Tulane. I always get Tulane and Tulsa mixed up. Whatever.
I do too.
Same thing. I couldn't get into either, so whatever. The offenses are pretty equal in this one, but Houston's defense is much, much better. The Cougars are allowing just 9.3 points over their past 4, and they lead the AAC in several categories. You might want to keep an eye on the first quarter line type thing, as Houston outscored opponents 59-7 in the first quarter this season. And Tulane's only win is versus Morgan State. The Green Wave, Golden Hurricane, whatever, which again, they won there. They played really well week 1, Oklahoma. They seem to kind of like flatline since then. So I like Houston on that one. Then I'm going to take the Seahawks in the points tonight against the Rams. I'm going to hold out and hope it gets to 3, although I don't think it will. Both teams have terrific primetime records in recent years. The difference in my mind is Russell Wilson has performed in all those for Seattle, and Matthew Stafford's kind of new to him, playing for the Lions. Really got to be in primetime. Maybe that doesn't matter. It does. Seattle's 9-1 the past 10 as a home dog, and it's supposed to get tight end Gerald Everett back. He's a big part of Waldron's offense, lines up in the backfield, lines up with wideout sometimes, so that should be a big plus for them. I like Seattle getting the points.
All right. There is a reason that I had the Lady Killer go before my man AB, who is also today on the 1s and the 2s. So, AB, you know what I'm smelling right now. Let's see if you're smelling it. What do you got?
Yeah, Coach, I'm smelling what the coach is cooking over here, and it smells like a showdown to me because, look, I have 3 plays. But first off, I was just going to say real quick, I noticed that Maddie's dog stairs aren't there. I was wondering where those went. So, yeah. All right, so really quick, yeah. We got
FedEx to you.
First, we're going to go Rams -2.5 tonight. Look, everything that M Squared laid out in regards to the Seahawks, I completely agree. They're running the least amount of plays in the NFL. And with the Rams, there's nothing that they need to change. They just got beat by arguably the best and most explosive offense in the NFL. I like them on a short week. I like them on the road because this is a professional team that doesn't have to change anything. Just you lost, show up, win a game, right? Like, I think that's what we're going to get tonight. Sean McVay's 5-1 against the spread off a division loss. The Seahawks are 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 off a division win. Second play, we're going to go Ole Miss -5.5 at home against Arkansas. Look, Arkansas and Ole Miss both had their doors blown off last weekend against Georgia and against Alabama, respectively. You have a home game for Ole Miss. Early kick. I think that there's going to be some residual stink on Arkansas here off of that loss, and I trust the offense and what Matt Corral and Lane Kiffin are going to be able to do, so I'll take that 5.5. Third play, Titans -4 against the Jaguars. We spoke about Derrick Henry earlier. He is the actual mayor of Duval. He's owned Jacksonville since the day he jumped in the NFL. But look, I know this Titans team like no one else. When everyone jumps off, that's when you jump on, because Mike Vrabel is lethal in these situations. Since 2020, they are 100% straight up and 100% against the spread off of an upset loss. They've already done it once this year. You saw they lost to Arizona, came back, won against Seattle. This is exactly what they do. I know they're banged up. They've got some issues, but they win this game. So, yep, those 3.
Wow. Incredible nuggets. And by the way, Arkansas, anytime you play Georgia, it's going to take you a couple of weeks to rebound from that just physical beatdown that they took as a superficial top 10 team, shall we say. All right. When we get to this part of the show, it's really where I feel it, because he is our heartbeat, he is our leader, and he is our pulse. Maestro! I'm just going to lean back. I'm just going to listen to the dulcet tones. Give it to me, baby. What do you got?
All right. Well, I wish we could have recorded late yesterday when Jamal Adams' tackle prop was -5.5 -130. I played it. I had to go on HQ. I went on HQ. I came back. It was 6.5. I was so upset but I still like it enough to play it. And now it's -120 at 6.5. So maybe it's even going to go to 7.5. This guy has 32 tackles this year. That's 8 per game. He's not blitzing as much as he did last year. Only 2 blitzes last week, only 13 this year. He's playing more coverage. The Seahawks are playing more dime. Mike talked about the Seahawks running the fewest plays. They are last in time of possession. I think that means the Rams are going to have a lot of plays, a lot of completions, a lot of tackles for Jamal Adams. So I'm going over 6.5 tackles plus assists.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting where this number is at and the price it is when we start our evening show, Early Edge Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. I'm really going to see how much the market moves because we know they watch you guys and then the numbers change. We've seen it happen time and time and time again. All right, we're up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, and it looks absolutely glorious. I love it when it looks like this. M squared, we're on 2 plays now. We're going to go under 54.5, and then Robert Woods' longest reception over 21.5 yards. Then Maestro, so far, just 1 play. Jamal Adams over. Tackles and assists 6.5. Get it right now. Then Matty Severs 3 plays. Astros on the money line today over the White Sox. Then Houston -6. That's college football. And then the Seahawks in Thursday Night Football in the NFL. Then AB. Did you guys ever settle that? Are we doing a SportsLine showdown? I know AB's in. Matty?
Sure.
Boom!
I could buy Alan another scarf for his meat locker.
Well played. That was well played.
Well played. All right, so we do have a SportsLine showdown, and we're gonna the official number. I'm calling it right now is 2.5. 2.5 is the official number for the SportsLine showdown bet. Then we're gonna go Ole Miss -5.5 over Arkansas. Then Titans -4 over the Jags. 1 play from SportsLine tonight. Today, Coastal Carolina -19.5. And don't forget, if you're not a member of SportsLine yet and you don't win, and today you notice I didn't say anything about the like button. I want you guys to handle it here in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we're going to give away so many. I'm going to negotiate with the bosses today to see how many I can give away tonight. All right, the AB3 +396. Rams money line. Astros money line. Rays on the money line. Oh, yeah, the Rays are playing tonight too. 2 baseball games tonight. All right. Let's get the energy turned around. It's Thursday, the official start to the NFL week, and we are fired up. So let's get – you've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, M squared, Maddie, the Maestro, ABs on the 1s and the 2s. I am the coach. Remember, turn on those notifications. You never know when new content is going to drop right into your feed like our MMA episode later today. We'll see you at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tell your friends is the Early Edge. Good luck.
Do you want best bets in your feed every single day? All you have to do is hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Early Edge.